Spurs is doing a tour of Asia right now, stopping off as his first order of business in Malaysia. Now, apparently, Asia and the Pacific regions are the primary focus of Spurs and his administration right now, according to Scott Bessent. Now, Scott Bessent is the Treasury Secretary, and he is on that trip with Spurs in Asia. And he did an interview saying that America is playing second fiddle to the Pacific region when it comes to Spurs.
Whatever is going on back in North America, I think, is taking second fiddle to President Trump's leadership out here in the Pacific.
What happened to America First? The whole of Spurs' campaign was about an America First agenda. But apparently, everybody is coming before America. With the government shut down because Republicans want to raise the healthcare costs of 20 million people and deny Medicaid to 17 million people, and they want to take food assistance benefits from 42 million people in the United States, they have absolutely no problem at all giving $40 billion to Argentina with no tangible benefits to the American people. And all the while, Spurs is laser focused on ruining our relationships with long-standing allies, including announcing a 10% rise in tariffs for Canada. And he is straight up lying about America getting $20 million in investments from other countries, including a $1.1 trillion investment he is saying he is getting from Qatar. The same Qatar that gave him a $400 million plane, in which they are spending $1 billion retrofitting that plane for him to use as Air Force One. Now, before anybody believes that $1.1 trillion is true, Qatar only has an annual GOP of $144 billion. So they can't afford to invest $1.1 trillion into America. That's a lie. Now, another thing that Spurs is doing while he is over there is going to South Korea. Now, Spurs, after that whole debacle at the battery company, detaining 300 of their people who had to be rescued by the South Korean government and brought back home, Spurs is trying to force South Korea into a deal that will have them give $350 billion to the U.S. with no tangible benefit to them, just because Spurs claims that we have been ripped off by our allies, as he proceeds to rip them off. Now, according to some estimates that I've seen, this is 6.5% of the South Korean GDP. Giving us that amount of money would darn near cripple their economy, which after the tariffs, the frozen people incident, and now this, the people are really getting pissed off, and they have taken to the streets. And they have started protesting en masse against Spurs and his appearance in South Korea as a part of this tour. This is terrible when you think that Korea and America has had a relationship since the 1953 Mutual Defense Treaty. This is almost 75 years of an alliance that is just being crushed in not even a year's time. And South Korea's problems don't stop there either. They are poised to host the APEC summit this week, which is their first time in 20 years. And we can all guess how that's going with the people who have been very, very vocal about the issues going on in that region. They have had massive protests for what's going on over there, with many of those protests coinciding with our No Kings protest here on the 18th of October. And tensions are rising even more because Spurs is speculated to meet with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. The same Kim Jong-un who has been launching ballistic missiles just for the fun of it, and to show off the military capability of North Korea. This kind of sounds familiar, being that Spurs did the same thing on the coast of California, striking one of his own military vehicles with that stunt. The president of South Korea, Lee Jae Myung, is downplaying both the meeting that Spurs is supposed to have with Kim Jong-un, as well as the extortion that they are facing from Spurs himself, as well as the implications of South Korea hosting the APEC summit this year, with everything that is going on there. Now, on the one hand, I understand because he is literally between a rock, a hard place, and a bed of nails. However, the people are making their voices known about the side they want him to take in these historic times. I do not envy President Lee Jae Myung at all, because he's got North Korea on the border. His ally of almost 75 years is trying to extort him. All eyes are on South Korea when it comes to APEC and trying to keep peace with those relations, even with all the atrocities going on over there. And he also has China to contend with. But good on the South Korean people for coming out en masse. Close to 20,000 people have been gathering together to tell the government what side they are on and what side they want South Korea to be on. So good on them for the activism. Keep it up, because we need to be putting pressure in on all sides here. So watch this space in the next coming days to weeks, because all eyes are on South Korea right now.
Met or
특히 다음 주에
especially with the APEC summit coming up next week, President Trump visiting, and important meetings like the South Korea-US summit or a potential North Korea-US summit on the agenda. I came out here today to strongly convey the anger of South Korean citizens from the very start.
They say they will conduct a comprehensive review. They say they will review. Dot.
We'll repeat that 3 times. They say the national economy is in shambles. We will begin our march on the investment plan for the United States. Yes. Citizens, Trump is doing it. Yes. If Korea is forced to invest by imposing tariffs, review it. Re-review it. Do it, it seems like we are in a hurry to respond to this phenomenon of Trump, but honestly, I am not sure how we should respond. I just hope that what is written here will give us some strength in the negotiations. I hope it will be of some help. That is the mindset I am sitting here with.
세상에서 가장 귀한 땅인 팔레스타인을 위해 우리 함께